We're here at the NBA store on 5th Avenue in New York City, joined by Ernie Johnson, promoting your new book, Unscripted. Now, Ernie, first I got to ask you, Kenny the Jet Smith has said that your group for Inside the NBA is the dream team. So I want to get a scouting report on each of your guys from your perspective first. Charles Barkley has been said he's like kerosene. What makes Chuck so good on television?
What makes Chuck so good on television is that he is the same guy in this job as he was as a player. When he was the most outspoken NBA player in his playing days and the guy who was a quote machine, you wondered, will that translate to TV? He's remained the same guy. He's as quotable as ever. And see, if he had changed and then decided I'm going to be a little more reserved, it wouldn't have worked. But he's exactly the same guy that he was as a player. And that's good for us.
That's great. It's great TV. Now, Kenny seems to have made a really great transition and a seamless transition from playing to broadcasting. What made that? And did you see that coming?
Yeah, as a matter of fact. When he was in between a few of his 10-day contracts late in his career and was thinking about TV, Tim Kiley, our producer, he and I both looked at each other after one of those shows and we said, when this guy is done, he's a natural. He'll be great. Kenny's got that New York street smarts. He's got a great approach to the game, and he has a wonderful, natural way about him. Mm-hmm. And so he was a natural fit. I mean, it was me and Kenny, and then Chuck joined us, Yeah. So, and then obviously Shaq after that. Is there a Shaq question?
There is a Shaq question. Now, how important is he for your show and for social media just as a whole?
Yeah, Shaq is the world's biggest kid. He's an absolute joy to be around. He just gets such a kick out of life, and he's all about getting like YouTube hits. I can tell you that we'll be 20 seconds before going on at halftime, and he's got some music going on his phone, and he's recording something, and he looks at me and says, Ernie, if you sing this song with me right now, it'll get like 20 million YouTube hits. And I said, I got a show to do here, Shaq. I said, all right, maybe when we're done, you can. Yeah, but that's what it's all about. It's all about the YouTube hits with the guy.
That's a really accurate Shaq impression, too. Have you been practicing?
I have been practicing. When you sit next to a guy that long, that's kind of, you pick up on the mannerisms, and you pick up on what it's like to be the most dominant big man in the history of the game.
Shaq, this is about to get all the YouTube hits, so watch out. I'm coming for you. Now, finally, yourself. I mean, you have covered golf and NCAA basketball for decades, and your producers really applaud your preparation and say you've prepared the same way since day one. What is it about your preparation? And walk me through what you do to get ready for a broadcast.
Wow. I mean, I think that for me, that's what it's all about. Doing the show, hanging out with Shaq and Kenny and Chuck and talking hoop, that's easy. It's all the homework that goes into it and knowing which buttons to push with these guys or knowing which storylines are out there that we should bring up in the course of a show. So that requires reading all those articles. It requires of me to be on top of every team every day of the year. And so I've told people, I said, if it ever gets to the point where the homework and the preparation isn't fun anymore, then it's time for me to say,
Mic drop.
But that's not it right now. I still love it so much, and it's still so much fun. So if all those folks who were in line to say, I want to take that guy's job who sits there and hangs out with Shaq and Kenny and Charles, it's not done yet.
Right.
But I couldn't think of a more fun job to have.
It's almost like that old adage, you got to fall in love with the process, right?
Yeah, without question.
Yeah.
Without question. That all goes into it, because if I don't feel prepared, then that makes the show difficult. When I feel like I'm ready, and like if somebody's going to break a rim and they come to us in the studio for, hey, you guys got to fill for 4 hours, we could do it.